Hi, I'm Dana. Welcome to this week's question. It comes from Kim. She says, "Help! I started sleep training my 8-month-old for naps at the end of May. He started out sleeping 75 minutes per nap. Now it's late June and he's only sleeping 30 minutes per nap. The problem is that he's still tired and cranky when he wakes up. I've tried leaving him in the crib longer, I just don't know how long to leave him. He's requiring at least 3 or 4 naps a day, and I really like to get this problem solved before I go back to teaching in August." Okay, well, I think there might be a couple things going on. I'm going to assume that you've mentioned your sleep training and for naps, and I'm not sure if you're doing the same for nights. I'm going to guess that you are. If you're not, then that might be what's causing some of the problem. You might need to do sort of the whole thing with nighttime and bedtime as well. What might be happening is that he might need a little more awake time between naps. And this is a tricky one because you don't want to push too hard, but you want to push a little. And so for 8 months, let's say the average 8-month-old needs about 3 hours of awake time between a nap. So let's say he wakes up at 7 a.m. from his night, then you might need to try to stretch him till about 10 o'clock before his first nap. And I know that can be tricky because often babies will start to show you signs of fatigue, and if you go right when you notice the first few signs, that can lead to a baby going down fairly easily but only sleeping for about 30 minutes. So it's almost like he was tired but not tired enough to take a longer nap. Now the flip side of that, though, the tricky part, is that if you push too hard, you can have the same sort of effect. So if you go too much past his window, so to speak, it could backfire. He might do lots of crying when you put him down for his nap and still only take a 30-minute nap, which is frustrating. So I want you to try just very easily and gently and slowly pushing his awake time a little bit more each day. So if you can only do 10 or 15 minutes for the first couple of days, that's a good start, and then maybe 20 minutes for a couple of days, and then getting him more to the 3-hour mark. And that will most likely increase the nap length. Now, if it doesn't, or you find that he's still waking up only after 30 minutes, you can try a couple of different strategies. If you've tried waiting and that's not working, then you can try the opposite, which is not waiting, just going in fairly quickly as soon as you hear him, and just give him back his toy or cover him back up with his blankie, tell him it's still nappy time or sleepy time. You can rub his head a few times or pat his back a couple of times. And sometimes if you catch a baby right at that 30-minute mark when they're just starting to wake up, you can convince them to go back into another cycle. So that might be something to give a try to and see if you have any better luck with that. If that's not working either, then go back to waiting. And you've asked, well, how long should I wait? And I would suggest you wait about 20 minutes. If a baby's going to go back to sleep after a short nap, it'll usually happen within 20 minutes. If 20 minutes has gone by, though, and he has not gone back to sleep, then get him up. Because if you try to wait him out, you could be waiting a long time, and it just makes the day too difficult on both of you. So because he's had that cat nap, it can be pretty tough to get a baby to go back to sleep after he's already had a little bit. So just keep trying a combination of stretching his awake time longer and going in quickly after the short nap, and see if you can encourage him to go back. And that should help. I mean, naps can be tricky, but I would suggest within a couple of weeks he should be taking a longer nap. Now, one thing though to keep in mind is usually the last nap of the day is always a short nap anyway. So let's say, he took a good 2-hour morning nap, but then his afternoon nap was only an hour or even 45 minutes. That's not too bad, and it's pretty common. So don't worry if that starts to happen. But he should be at least having one really good solid nap a day, followed by a shorter one. Or the opposite direction is fine too. Okay, so I hope that helps, Kim. Thanks for your question, and sleep well.